Capricorn Sun and Rising. Welcome to your March 2024 Astro Update. It's Raina here. So, as I reported last month, a lot of energy went into Aquarius, and for Capricorn, this is your second house of earned income. So, as the month of March begins, we're going to continue to see that Aquarian energy carry through to the beginning of the month. But then we're going to see almost like a similar kind of situation where planets go into Pisces that are, what we would normally expect. But then, they're joining longer term transiting planets. For instance, Neptune and Saturn. Saturn has been in this third house for you in Pisces for the past year, and Neptune for like over a decade. So it really it puts the focal point on teaching, learning, communication, and there could be some specific things that is really important for certain Capricorn people who have been influenced by this. The reason I say who have been influenced is because if you're listening for your sun sign, this is like your solar chart, and you really would do very well by yourself to find out, if you don't know what your rising sign is, to find out and to see where it's landing, see where transits are landing in your natal chart, because that can be more of the day-to-day mundane influences. To me, the solar chart, the sun sign aspect of it, is things that, I feel like a person has to be fairly awake to be able to really direct their life in that way. But I'm not saying it's not possible at all. I think both of these, the sun and the rising sign transits, you can kind of like combine them and see exactly where you're at. So on the 10th of the month, Mercury goes into Aries. So Mercury goes into Aries well before the sun does, 9 days earlier. And so this is a cardinal sign like you, Capricorn, and this is actually going to hit that angular fourth house, which means that domestic concerns will be coming into your reality. And Mercury can be contracts. I mean, if you're thinking of selling a house or buying a house, that would definitely have something. Maybe you're talking to a realtor or something along those lines. And this is an area that you have had triggers to already, and you're going to have another one because of the eclipses that have been occurring. Only one up to this point in Aries, back a year ago, believe it or not. 11 months ago. And you're going to have another solar eclipse in Aries in April, but you might even feel it in March. So that a solar eclipse can be a very powerful new moon. So it might propel you into like a new real estate adventures or things of that nature. The fourth house might be your mother. Some people say the father. So you might be talking to either parent more than you normally are for some reason. And on that date, we have the new moon in Pisces. Wow, how could I forget that, right? So that is in that third house. Actually, the third house, I talked about teaching and learning and communicating, but it's also the house of your siblings. And it's also the house of your aunts, uncles, cousins, in other words, extended family members. So, you have Mercury going into the house of your mother, and then, on the same day, a new moon with your siblings. So let's say you're taking care of your mother. You may be saying to your siblings, look, I'm not going to do this alone. You're going to share the responsibility with me. And yeah, now that I think about it, Saturn in the third house, when I thought about responsibility, I thought about your ruler, Saturn. What does that mean? And, when Saturn is in the third house, it can mean that um, you have to set boundaries with them. Um, maybe you've been maybe you've been playing that role of the dutiful Capricornian adult child, but for whatever reason, it's gotten to be too much. You feel like other siblings are taking advantage of your Girl Scout or Boy Scout nature, and you're done with it. And with Pluto having gone through your sign, you may be like even more empowered to kind of like step into that role of not feeling like you have to do everything. A new moon in the third house could be a new website, a new social media presence. If you work in education, it could be a new teaching job or tutoring job, a new writing project. On the 11th, Venus goes into his third house as well. So, harmony, some sort of money that is connected to the internet, love, I was going to say online love match, maybe, I don't know. On the 19th, the sun goes into Aries, so now we have another planet in this domestic area. And so it's interesting. Third house, fourth house. Both of these are really represented in March. So I would say that family matters and home and surrounding area matters could be big for you in March because the third house can be your local area. So when the new moon is in your third house, you may be visiting. Maybe you are moving to a new place and you're visiting your new neighborhood and you're seeing the new people that you're going to be surrounded by. On the 22nd, Mars goes into Pisces, into that third house, and it could be simply exploring your local area. It could be fighting with a sibling, or there's some kind of tension there. Remember that you hold the key. You can stay above the fray. You don't have to, maybe other siblings are getting into it or other family members like your aunt, It depends on the family. Some families are definitely more full of drama, combative than others. And if you are one of those, very dysfunctional families and you're a Capricorn, that is going to be a big bummer for you because you're the kind of person who really values, harm. Capricorn as a sign doesn't necessarily value harmony more than the average person, like a Libra person might be. But I'm talking about you value having family life. Some people can kind of take or leave family life. They're not as, tied to their families. But you're the kind of person that would be. And so if you have a family that is problematic, I think it would hit you harder than most. This could be some kind of course that you are taking. Maybe you're trying to increase your skills and you're really, maybe it's like a very condensed course, so you're really active and doing it in a short period of time. You haven't had Mars in Pisces for quite a while. I don't know exactly how long, but definitely over a year, because at this point last year, Mars was just about to leave the sign of Gemini. So, this may be a situation where you're re-energized or like really investing energy in this area of life that you kind of laid fallow for a while. And then on the 25th, we have a lunar eclipse at 5 degrees of Libra. And this is the opposite house and the opposite sign of that fourth house, um, energy of the Aries. This is Libra, and that means it's your 10th house of career, a lunar eclipse here. This is the area of the chart that Capricorn rules. So you're very well acquainted with and aligned with the 10th house energy, which is career matters. And a lunar eclipse here could, I feel, for some of you, could be like a major watershed moment where you gain major traction, or it's really about exposure or recognition in your field. But if you have an online presence because of that third house, the third house can be social media, and you have a lot of stuff going on here. This might be that time when you go viral, when all of a sudden everything starts to click. Sometimes I look at videos, or, content creators, and there was like the spiritual guy that they recommended to me, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And the next time I saw him, and it was just like within a matter of days, he was doing a live stream, and he had like, I don't know, 150 people or something. And that's like major. I mean, there are people he had like 10,000 subscribers, or might have had less than that. And he was just like, I think he just kind of finally got to the next level. And so you might be taking off with your career. And it might be this kind of moment where everything starts to kind of accelerate. Now, that could be coupled by the fact that you have you have Pluto in the second house, which can be wealth. Okay. But the thing is that for some people, depending on, not every Capricorn person is in the same place. You might be finally letting go of a career, and actually it would be probably more like it letting go of you. And if something happens where something is eclipsed out of your life, I guarantee you it's because it's not meant for you anymore. And you may have been holding on way too long because you didn't know what else you wanted to do. You didn't know the next step you wanted to take, or just for safety reasons, or, security reasons. So please see the grace of God in this, and don't look at it, because another astrologer mentioned like this can be the grace of God when you have a lunar eclipse. I don't know if they were just speaking about the 12th house, but I think it's true for any house, because chances are the person's holding on to something that they need to let go of. And it could be like a very toxic environment and career, or just the career itself. What it is that you're being asked to do is not in alignment. So eclipses can shake things up, but if you have the right mindset, you can see how it shakes it up for the better. All right, Capricorn, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, I'm promoting my double astrological readings called deep dive readings, because when you buy them as a package deal, you save money, and they really do go together. An hour of natal chart analysis, an hour of transits for the next 12 months, for a special price compared to buying those readings separately. And you can find out more information about my other readings that I have. I have readings on career, life path type of readings, love, and other things. You can find out more information at the link below. I'm at rainamoonastrology.com. Thanks for listening. Bye.